Hi, welcome to Ari's Potion Cart. What can I get for you? I see. New to town. And you're looking for the Spring Blossom Festival? Wonderful. Well, in a way, you've already found it. Many of the local merchants around this town are offering special deals in honor of the festivities. I myself am offering one free crystal with every potion purchase. And I've also pre-made some clear breath potion if you're interested. But what I'm sure you're actually looking for is the main festivities in the town square. It's going to be just wonderful. Local musicians and minstrels lending their music to the peaceful bubbling sounds of the water in the fountain. And they've cleared space for dancing. I've heard the dance floor this year is even bigger than it was last year. Although I was in an entirely different town this time last year, so I wasn't here to witness it. But I'm sure it will be amazing. Here, let me show you how to get there. We are here, near the southeastern edge of town. If you follow this path to your left, you'll eventually come to a fork in the road. The left path leads out of the city, which I only mention because there is a beautiful patch of wildflowers that rests just here. So it may be worth taking a brief detour to gather yourself a bouquet. Following the fork to the right, you'll pass by the copper kettle on your right. Word around town is that Miss Fenwick is giving a complimentary lavender tea to anyone who whispers to her the secret word, blue. On your left will be the woolen satchel. I've heard the proprietor is running an excellent sale on his decorative pouches. I was thinking about stopping by and getting one for myself. Continue down this path until it ends at the Hearthside Trader. If you are a lover of trinkets and novelties, you simply must stop in. They have the most exquisite collection of scented oils, and the only sand pearls I've seen this side of the Carith River. Oh, and please give my regards to Ada and Rorik Moswell if you do stop in. They've been so very welcoming since I arrived to town. At the Hearthside Trader, you'll make a right turn. You'll know you're heading in the correct direction when you see the large wooden chicken outside the Simple Stock. This store specializes in low-cost chicken and cattle feed. You won't find prices any better in all of Rodalock, or perhaps the entirety of the Twin Bay coast for that matter. Continue on this road. You'll probably start to see others dressed in their finest spring attire, wearing flower crowns or perhaps with small bouquets peeking out of pockets and folds in the fabric. You'll also start to hear the music wafting from the town square. Pass by the Drunken Sylph, or maybe stop in for their signature spring mead or 12-petal ale. To your left, just before you reach the Amber Quill bookstore, you'll find the road that leads you straight to the town square. The town square is normally a quiet, peaceful spot, characterized by the calm, bubbling sounds of the water in the grand central water fountain. Today, however, it will be alive with music, dancing, and a vibrant air of celebration. I encourage you to take part in the dancing. There are no prescribed steps or strict techniques to follow. Rather, you are encouraged to feel the life energy of the springtime air and simply dance as the music moves you. Occasionally, groups of children or a performing troupe will take to the dance floor, performing intricate formations that they've been practicing for weeks, adorned in colorful, flowing attire, inspired by the gentle fluttering of petals to the ground, or the wings of a butterfly as it flits from flower to flower. Now, if you ever tire from dancing, look for the sign shaped like a bed, marking the Sleeping Stag Inn. In between the Sleeping Stag Inn and its rival inn, the Gilded Goose, you'll find a small, nondescript alleyway. Take this alley, and you'll find a road. This stretch of road here, from Timberite and Sons Carpentry up here, all the way down to the Potion Makers Guild down here. This road is where you will find the beating heart of this festival. Just off the main thoroughfare, it's become the unofficial place to mingle with your fellow townsfolk during the festival. The music drifts gently over the rooftops, soft enough to create a pleasant backdrop for conversation. Here you will find a patchwork of rugs and blankets strewn with flowers for sale or trade. While most anyone would be more than happy to give you a blossom or two of your choosing for just a copper, most prefer to trade in trinkets, baubles, or even secrets. If you wish, you could even set out your own blanket to trade flowers of your own. It's believed that the act of giving a flower brings good fortune for the seasons ahead, so don't forget to share your blossoms with friends, old and new. After all, they say that the more you give, the more luck you'll have to carry with you into the year to come. Here, you can have this. Enjoy the festivities. It truly is magical to celebrate the season with laughter and music. Oh, you're interested in the Clear Breath potion. Oh, that's excellent to hear. This potion is perfect for people who tend to get the sniffles this time of year. I've heard it called bloom sickness in some towns. One vial of this will help to ease sneezing and also reduce itchiness in the nose, throat, and eyes. One vial should last about a week, although results will vary depending on the severity of your symptoms. This is just 2 copper. Wonderful, here you go. And as promised, you get your choice of a crystal. Oh. Too many to choose from? I see. Well, how about I narrow it down by picking out a few of my favorites? Let me see. How about this one? This milky white gem has trickles of green running through. Almost like rivers of algae through the snow. I know we don't get much snow here in Rodalock, but if you've ever been to the mountains, seeing that terrain covered in a gentle snowfall, it is truly beautiful. And this gem reminds me of that. The green of the foliage just barely poking through the craggy peaks of the snow-covered mountains. Let's see, what else? Oh. You could choose this beautiful rose quartz. You can see the color of the stone is almost the same as the color of my hand. But inside the stone, beneath the smooth, glossy exterior, you can just barely make out tiny cracks and imperfections that only seem to add to its beauty. This is also one of the larger stones I have available for you to choose from. It also fits perfectly in the palm of your hand if you like to grasp something or roll it between your fingers. A small trinket to hold in your pocket whenever you need to feel grounded. Let's see, what else? This is one of my favorites. Although it is a little hard to see, this crystal has tiny fragments of magic tucked away in the folds of the stone. You can see in the bit of shimmer as it catches the light. While relatively rare to find, the magic is so well embedded in the stone, it is quite difficult to extract. Even so, it makes for a very beautiful keepsake, a reminder that magic can be so very beautiful and yet so very ordinary. How about this? A small piece of pyrite. oftentimes referred to as fool's gold, because while it has this beautiful, shining, golden appearance, it is not truly gold, but rather a mineral, a rock, a crystal. But it shines just as beautifully as if it were gold. Examine how it catches the light in its metallic colors. Truly beautiful. Of course, one of my very favorites, the mushroom stone. Now, this stone did not grow naturally in this shape. It was carved by a very skilled stonemason out of a beautiful blue crystal. This gemstone reminds me of the beauty of nature. The blue color, including the deeper tones that streak through it occasionally, and the lighter wisps formed by tiny cracks and crevices in the surface, reminds me of the waters of the ocean, the deep, unknowing depths in the dark blue, and the vibrant, crashing waves against the sands of the beach in the lighter tones. Yet, at the same time, the fungal shape, playful yet solid, reminds me of the forests where I forage most of my ingredients. So far from the sea, yet so connected through the cycle of life and the flowing of the water. Oh, how about this one? This gemstone reminds me of the crackling fires in the fireplace back at my parents' shop. The way the yellow glow seems to capture the sunlight, and the deep orange and red hues streak through, gives it almost a lifelike quality. Taking a closer look, you can see the details just beneath the surface. Deep reds, even light blacks, along with the yellow of the stone. Truly a beautiful specimen. So many beautiful stones to choose from. It's no wonder you were having trouble picking. How about a more rare stone? Beautiful turquoise. Characterized by this lovely bluish color with tiny veins of a deeper, more earthy tone running through. You'll be hard-pressed to find turquoise anywhere near Rodalock. This piece was found out east, gifted to me by my father. But don't worry, he gifted me several pieces. I've made sure to keep one for myself. So you don't have to feel bad if you would like to select this one to keep. Many of these gems I am offering because I could not identify them, and in being unable to identify, I cannot use them in potions. Such as this gem. When I first collected it, I suspected it of being simply an unpolished emerald. However, upon testing it, it appears to be something else entirely. In all my reading, I was unable to identify this gem. Perhaps you will have more luck than I did. Even so, I still find it to be a beautiful specimen of nature, the matte color, giving it a down-to-earthness that just feels comforting. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't offer at least one amethyst. I've chosen this one because I find it quite unique among the amethyst. This right side here, well, to your left, I suppose, has that characteristic purple hue that many amethysts hold. But on the other side here, it fades to a beautiful white color, a little more rare among amethysts. Perhaps you would like to take this one home with you. Many of these gemstones are beautiful because of their color, but there are several that I personally love because of their shape. Such as this one, for example. A perfect cylinder formed by the tossing and turning along a riverbed. Very rare. Some say even lucky. Although I prefer to craft my own luck in the form of potions. But if you believe in that sort of thing, perhaps you would like to take home this gemstone and test it out for yourself. See if you find yourself to be especially lucky. This gem is another one that I was unable to identify, but I simply love the coloration. It is not your traditional bright, vibrant colors, but rather deeper, earthy greens, blues, browns, and grays. Less traditionally beautiful, but in some ways, I think that almost makes it all the more alluring. Perhaps you would like to give this gemstone a place to call home. Here is a unique stone called a tiger's eye. As I move it, you can just barely see how the colors shift, almost seeming to look at you. Tiger's eye crystals have a very special place in my heart, as it was one of the first gemstones of any value that I found out while foraging. Back at my parents' shop, I would often go into the woods to find ingredients for potions. And while I would come back with baskets and baskets full of herbs, I would also bring a small pouch to gather rocks, shells, and when I could find them, the occasional gemstone. These tiger eye crystals always remind me of that. Here's another very unique stone you may be interested in. At first inspection, it appears to be black, but upon closer notice, you will see the faint reds trickling through like fires lighting up the night. You see that? The orangish reds just here and here. Quite beautiful, if you ask me. Let's see. Oh, now this is quite a fun gem. This is Dalmatian jasper, named after these prominent black spots dotting the white of the crystal. I always find it so interesting when these types of shapes are found in nature. It's quite fascinating. Here's an interesting one. This is technically not a gemstone at all, but rather a piece of coral. In fact, it is what they call fossilized, meaning that this piece of coral is ancient and has over hundreds, maybe even thousands, or maybe millions of years, has turned to stone. Wow. There's no greater magic in the world, is there? The soft ridges on the edge give it a very interesting texture. And the shape, long, skinny, with little knobs, remind you of the life it used to hold under the water so long ago. Perhaps, if you like the color red, you might be interested in this gemstone. It's beautiful, fiery red color. So rare to be found naturally. Yet here it is, in such a humble little gemstone. Perhaps a reminder that truly anything is possible. Now, if you prefer a more traditional gemstone, perhaps I can interest you in this moonstone. Look at the way it glistens under the light, just like the moon on a bright but starless night. How about this one? This stone is called lapis lazuli, and I just love the bright blue colors, starkly contrasted by these sprinklings and stringings of white throughout. Occasionally, you can almost see even a little bit of green, like here. Perhaps if these gemstones aren't quite your style, I would be able to offer you a shell, perhaps. Such as this one. This shell, still beautifully intact after its owner having left, has beautiful ridges along the edges and a gorgeous coloration of white, pale green, brown, and gray. I do love the spiraling shapes of these shells. Or perhaps you'd be interested in this shell. The beautiful grayish, greenish outside, lined with creamy white and streaks of brown. It's quite beautiful on the outside. And one of the shell's biggest flaws is also its biggest strength. As you can see, the shell itself is broken, but that reveals the beautiful inner workings, the pearlescent sheen on the inside of the shell and the spiral that its previous inhabitant worked so hard to create. Also, quite the reminder that even broken things can be beautiful. In fact, there is beauty everywhere. Well, what do you think? Which one will you pick? Maybe the turquoise or the unknown green gem? Maybe the fossilized coral, the lapis, the tiger eye, the citrine that reminds you of fire, the carved mushroom, the pyrite or fool's gold, the deep, dark gem with magic trapped inside, a bright and unique amethyst, a flawless shell from the ocean, the Dalmatian jasper with its beautiful spots, or the broken shell, bright red crystal, or the round orange one, perhaps a larger rose quartz, or a more muted toned earthy rock, perhaps the moonstone with its ethereal glow, or the dark stone with red sprinkled throughout, or maybe the white and green gem of the mountains and the snow. Which would you like? Excellent choice. Enjoy the festivities. It's been a pleasure.